we're going to get started in just a few minutes. So if you want to get water or any last errands, we're going to corral people in from the lobby and get going. Is it, can I do I need it if I talk closer? It wasn't your talking. If it's, well, we'll check. And are there Thanks, everybody. We're going to be in a really packed room today, so if you have chairs at your table, please arrange yourselves. There's a couple, there's, and there's, where's that? Oh, okay. Great. Thanks, everybody. Wow, everyone's really compliant this morning, or tired. Thanks, everyone. It's great to see a packed room. I was a little nervous 15 minutes before when it was more empty. So my name is Cathy Pettit. I'm the director of the National Neighborhood Indicators Partnership. And we'll get this started. Will you find it? I'll just start talking. So welcome very much on behalf of all of the Urban Institute, and it's great to see both familiar faces and new ones too. We're also, really all of us are thinking about Tom Kingsley, our founder who passed away in January. We actually, even though Atlanta was a founding partner, have never had a meeting in Atlanta, so he would have been thrilled to be here and to see such an overflowing crowd. So we'll just keep him in mind throughout the time period. We're going to start with logistics. So first I wanted to welcome, we are live streaming this, so there's folks, either staff at home from your partner organizations or other friends of the family who will be watching and chiming in throughout the 3 days. We'll also be reminding you to tweet using the hashtag NNIP, and we have a few just opening remarks before we start introductions. So because we both have new staff members and guests, every time we start out with just reminding ourselves about what we have in common. And many of you were at an overflowing introduction session, so I know this will be repeat for you, or I could just quiz you in the corner. But that's, so there's 3 main functions. All of the NNIP partners, they might be nonprofits or universities, regional groups like the Atlanta group, but there's 3 things that they have in common. They all assemble and collect neighborhood data. We understand how important it is to see differences within our cities. We work with local groups to use the data, so it's not just about doing a fantastic journal article or loving crunching the data on the side. And then we make sure that everyone has access. Really, NNIP was founded really to level the playing field and to make sure that community had the data as well as people who were making decisions about the neighborhood. So we have about 60 partners attending this time from 31 cities, so it's a fantastic turnout. And we also have a few alumni that are around about 6 alumni that will be coming in either today or later tomorrow. So for those of you who have heard 20 of these intro sessions, this is a new slide, actually, which we realize that we have neglected to talk about the home of the home of NNIP, which is the Urban Institute. So our staff coordinate NNIP as part of our positions at Urban. Urban was started in 1968 to evaluate the War on Poverty programs. We're a nonprofit social and economic research organization that really focuses on building the evidence base for good policy, but also to make sure that everyone is benefiting in the communities from the programs to really reduce the hardship. So it's been an amazing dynamic over the last 2 decades, both that we gained so much on-the-ground knowledge and wisdom and perspective from you all that really feeds into our national research, and we are able to bring national trends and our policy experts to all of you. I want to thank the funders that are here. I don't think Cindy Guy is quite here yet, but she's a long-term supporter, champion, friend of NNIP who really has helped us think through growing over the last few years. Craig Howard wasn't able to be here from the MacArthur Foundation, who also funds the General Network. Kresge is funding the Turning the Corner project. We have a couple representatives, guests here today, and other cities are participating. And finally, the most exciting part is a new announcement we're making with Microsoft. Kevin Miller is here. That starting a new project around criminal justice reform with a really particular focus on looking at the racial disparities. So recognizing that we don't have a good feel for what aspects of criminal justice reform people are working on, if any, and we don't really have a good idea from our point of view about what are the right neighborhood indicators, what makes sense at the neighborhood level, how do we negotiate with the police department to get better data or to have them collect better data that is disaggregated by race. There's a lot of questions. So we're starting a planning period for the next 3 or 4 months, and there'll be a camp session tomorrow or Friday that you can watch out for. And our colleague, Dean Obermark, is joining us from the Justice Policy Center. So we're very excited to be reunited with them after the last cross-site project we did on the reentry mapping program, which I think there's some people here. So you can learn more about that. We'll be sending out notes both to the Google group and the general public announcement in the next few days. I think I've just told Bernita and her staff that I think they were like vying for best host ever. So first time meeting t-shirts, first time swag bags, there's gonna be many firsts. And Bernita, Jim, Mike, David Oliver, and a special thanks to Davina, who has been running around getting all the logistics together. So they have been amazing so far, and I'm sure it'll just get better with the local panel and the tours tonight. And there's many local sponsors that helped with the swag bag, although I need some identification. I wasn't sure what all those little doodads were in the swag bag, so there might be a like show and tell, maybe during lunch, about what they were. So but the help with this, both the souvenirs, the tours, the receptions, it takes a lot to put all this together, so having the local sponsors is an amazing help for the network. We could not run NNIP without the amazing executive committee. If I could have you guys stand up for a round of applause. You don't get enough appreciation. So for those of you who are guests, these are 6 folks that are elected from the membership that really we rely on, that meet with us every month, that are so responsive to every moment when we're like, we can't think of how to organize this panel, or can we think of other examples? They're just thinking about policies and also the broader direction of where should the network go and what should we be focusing on. So thank you. You can thank them personally and also ask them about what it's like to be on the executive committee, as we'll be recruiting for new people in the fall. So part of what makes NNIP special is that most of the program is drawn from all of the expertise in the room. So people have volunteered their time to share, whether it's, you'll hear about residential instability this morning, or up to data viz that Rob's been working with. So take time out to thank the panelists for really chipping in, because this is what makes the peer learning network so strong. We also have many special Atlanta speakers that you'll hear today to hear about equitable development in Atlanta. So, and be sure also to thank your tour guides for tonight, the people that organized the events. I think Rob will talk about the tours in a minute that are described in your panel, but there are also many other national guests here from the Federal Reserve of Atlanta, from Harvard, from the Illinois Public Health Institute. Living Cities will be here later. So get to know those national folks. We are very selective with our invitations. The folks that have been invited are here because we thought they could both learn from all of you and you could learn from them. So please get to know those national guests too. And this is the most guest cities we've ever had also in a meeting, 9 guest cities. Some of the descriptions are in the back of your packet. This is part of our core mission, and part of the role of the Urban Institute is to encourage new cities that are interested in NNIP. So please, if you are one of these folks, you can please ask a lot of questions, and also if you're a partner, ask these folks how they're doing the data intermediary, because they have a lot to bring to the table already. Yay, yay, librarians. No, we had a fantastic meeting yesterday. Many of you have seen the announcements from Liz or from myself about the Civics Switchboard Project, which is a project funded by the Institute of Museum and Library Services that seeks to really bring data intermediaries and public and academic library together to think about open data, data literacy, and really the democratizing data agenda that we have as part of our core for NNIP is also a really good mission fit for the great expertise that we have in the libraries. And 11 cities met yesterday at donated space from ARC to brainstorm, do an ecosystem map, think about next steps to really come up with new creativity. They're also developing all their workshops and guidebooks in an open format on GitHub, so they want feedback from all of you if you have worked on your libraries. And there'll be another camp session so you can learn more about them. So I'm going to pass it to Rob for introductions.
Okay, so we're going to do a poll of the audience. If you've been to these before, you know that you can take out your phone now. And I'm going to put the code up on the screen so that... Oh, you guys closed it. Oh, here it is. There it is. Okay, so what you'll do is go on your phone to menti.com, and then you'll use this code, which is 454852. And then do a little thumbs up once you're ready, so we can see that everybody's ready. Okay, so the first question is going to be our fun question, and this is a trivia question, so remember that in order to win this game, you have to be both the fastest and to have the correct answer, so don't dwell too long on your particular answer. Okay, first question, which of these celebrities loved to stay at this hotel in the 1970s? So this hotel, the Crowne Plaza, back when it was called something else in the 1970s, which celebrity loved to stay here? 5 more seconds. All right. Most people got it right. Now let's see who the winner is. No, Geoff. Congratulations. You get an extra swag bag. Elvis, the king. So you know why he liked it. Okay, so now we'll go to the actual poll. So first, just type in what city you are from. Okay, and the next question, how many of these NNIP meetings have you attended?
I don't like it bouncing around.
It's live.
It's live. Wow, that's a really great distribution.
Would you have guessed?
No.
Okay, so for folks who work at an NNIP partner organization, how would you describe your organization?
Or guests.
Or guests. Okay, and everyone's favorite question, what is your favorite data set?
Okay, I don't want to taint the results, but Hamda came out yesterday, which I'll send the email around, but months early. So anyway, if you want to go in the corner and talk about it, John's already run the numbers.
All right, either 20 people are still typing or they don't have a favorite data set. So. I think it's a typo. Okay, good stuff here. So we're actually going to do microphones so that you can say your name and where you're visiting from, or
Just your name and your city.
Name and city, and that's it.
Okay, I'm going to start over here.
Hey, I'm Mike Carnathan. Welcome to Atlanta.
Dan Emmergluck, Georgia State. Welcome to Atlanta.
Leah Hendey with the Urban Institute in DC.
Good morning, Julia Langford here with Laureate Sport for Good Foundation here in Atlanta.
Good morning, Farlone Toussaint, Laureate Sport for Good, Atlanta.
Hello, Aaron Brenner from the University of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
Brian Waldron, University of Memphis, Memphis.
Hi, Jeff Mattson, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Liz Monk, Pittsburgh.
Hi, everyone. Kevin Miller, San Jose, California.
Hi, Eleanor Tutt, Pittsburgh.
Ryan Fairman, Shift Research Lab out of Denver.
Hi, Megan Brown, Trinity College, Hartford, Connecticut.
Hello, Shay Swager, librarian from Denver, Colorado.
I'm not standing up. Jessica Davis from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ashley Williams-Clark, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hi, Rebecca Rice, Georgia Family Connection Partnership here in Atlanta.
Denise Grossbeck, Juvenile Welfare Board for Pinellas County, Florida.
Michael Havelka, Juvenile Welfare Board, Pinellas County, Florida.
Saba Arzola, Tampa, Florida.
Ryan Barrett, Atlanta.
Jacob Whitaker, Atlanta.
Erica Rowley, Detroit.
Hi, Veronica Young from Code for America in San Francisco.
Troy Rosenkrantz, Flint, Michigan.
Luigi Ray Montañez from Atlanta. Welcome.
Tony Fast from Atlanta.
Hi, Sarah Coffin, St. Louis University in St. Louis.
Maxwell Austinson, NYU Furman Center.
Jordan Shipley, University of Missouri, Kansas City.
Good morning, Dominic Braham with LISC in Phoenix, Arizona.
Good morning, Deli Alcantara, University of New Mexico, Institute for Geospatial and Population Studies, Albuquerque.
Hi, I'm Sophie Cowder from Data Spark at the University of Rhode Island in Kingston.
I'm Danielle Wood from the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana.
Mariko Toyoji from Seattle, Washington.
Bernita Smith, Atlanta. Welcome to the A.
Rodney Milton, Atlanta. Welcome to the A.
Rachel Weinstein, the Data Center in New Orleans.
Paul Sorensen from St. Louis.
Carrie Cosvallejo from Milwaukee.
Hi, Rania from Oakland, California.
Reginald Constant from Oakland, California as well.
Jackie Stradley, Atlanta.
James Neal, the Institute of Museum and Library Services by way of Washington, D.C. and Greenbelt, Maryland.
Aaron Schill, Columbus.
Megan Johansson, Columbus.
Hi, Jake Cunliffe, also Columbus, Ohio.
Hi guys, my name is Mavish Siddiqui from San Antonio, Texas.
Nick Chun from Portland, Oregon.
I'm Randy Morris from Portland, Oregon.
Hi, I'm Matt Nowlin from the Polis Center in Indianapolis.
Oh, hi, I'm Olivia Arena from Houston, Texas originally, but by way of the Urban Institute in DC.
We'll get her back to Texas. I'm Laura McKeer in San Antonio.
I'm Mark Abraham Data Haven in Connecticut.
Katie O'Connell, Healthy Places Lab at Georgia Tech here in Atlanta.
Emily Yankee, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Stephen Sills, Center for Housing Community Studies, UNCG, Greensboro.
Bob Graddick, Pittsburgh, PA.
Michael Rich, Emory University here in Atlanta.
April Urban, Cleveland, Ohio.
Olivia Hoagie, Cleveland.
Noah Urban, Detroit.
John Cruz, St. Louis.
Katie Pritchard, Milwaukee.
Jeff Smith, Chicago.
Jana Hirsch, Urban Health Collaborative, Philadelphia.
Jeremy Pine, Grand Rapids.
Caroline Bala, Los Angeles.
Patrick Pontius, Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta.
Steve Nichols, Atlanta.
Hey, Tim Stallman with DataWorks in Durham, North Carolina.
John Colleen with Tim in Durham.
Matthew Sisk from the University of Notre Dame in South Bend.
Laura Simmons, Charlotte.
Megan Goulding, Los Angeles, California.
Jennifer Newcomer, Denver.
Katie Levengood, Philadelphia.
Cheryl Knott, Baltimore.
Diane Gavarkovich, Charlotte.
Luke Schuster, Boston.
Running it back across the room now.
Randy Rosso from Arlington, Virginia, and Food Research and Action Center.
Nisha Bochwe, Georgia Tech, and welcome to Atlanta.
Sarin Adhikari, VCU Richmond.
Dean Obermark, Urban Institute.
Kristen Murray from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I'm Sharon Kandris from Indianapolis.
Hi, Susan Millay from Austin.
Layla Bellows, Atlanta.
David Oliver from Atlanta. Welcome, everyone.
Eric Woodworth, Atlanta.
Anyone else? Okay, great. Now back to Rob.
Since we have record high attendance at this meeting, and we want everyone to have a seat, if you have an extra seat at your table, can you raise your hand and point it out so that everyone can come find a seat and make friends, since we'll have people coming in and we don't want to use up all the seats back there too. Okay, everybody, so we're going to talk about some of the logistics for the meeting this week. So if you could quiet down, please. So firstly, if you haven't already, if you want to download the meeting app, you can do so by going to this URL, my.yap.us/NNIPATL, and that is case sensitive. So make sure that you type that in exactly as it is, and we highly recommend that you download the app so that you can keep up with everything. This week we have the schedule digitally on there. We have the full list of attendees who are here this week, so you can find someone who you meet and connect with them. As soon as NNIP Camp is settled, we're going to upload all of the sessions to the app so that you can see where the rooms are going to be located and which session is going to be taking place at which time. We also have the restaurant list, courtesy of the Atlanta Regional Commission. So they have their personal picks. If you guys are looking for a place to go nearby or in a different neighborhood, it is all in there. You can also follow along the hashtag NNIP, either on Twitter or inside the app. And lastly is the chat, so that you can talk with each other. And please use good judgment when using the chat. So since that said, if you do not want to have push notifications from the app, specifically from the chat, you can turn them off. And it looks different on an iPhone and an Android, but basically you're going to locate the button that brings up the settings, and then there's going to be a little notifications button with a bell next to it. And when you get into there, you can either select to have all activities pushed to you, just the announcements from NNIP HQ that Olivia or I will send, or you can have no push notifications at all. So we do recommend that you turn them on so that you don't miss anything important, any important announcements, because if we do need to get in touch with you, this is the quickest and easiest way for us to reach all of you. So again, we highly recommend that you turn them all on, but understand if you want to turn them off. Few quick things to note about the reception and the tours tonight. So the receptions will depart at 4:30 p.m. sharp, so please be on time. The tours are going to be all on buses, and they will arrive at the reception at 6:30. The reception will be at Trees Atlanta, which is on the other side of town, and it is not walkable from the hotel. So we highly recommend that you attend the tour so that you can have transportation to the reception. But if you choose to not attend the tour, you are on your own for transportation to the reception, and you can use a taxi, which there is a taxi stand outside, or an app to get transportation. After the reception or during the reception, there are going to be buses that will bring everyone back to the hotel, and those are departing at 7:30, 8, and 8:30. So if you miss the buses, then you're on your own back to the hotel from the reception. At this point, if you guys want to take out your binders, we'll just walk through exactly what's in here. So at the very beginning of the binder, you will see the agenda for the day. You also have this yellowish name tent. So please hang on to this. This is going to be important for NNIP camp, which Olivia will introduce in a moment, so that everyone in the room can see who you are and where you are from. So make sure to hang on to that and don't lose it. The next thing in the packet is the meeting description and the code of conduct. So we want everyone to have a good experience at the event, so please read the code of conduct and make sure that you are respectful of everyone at the event here. On the next page are the NNIP camp rules, which we have made sure to include, and Olivia will go over the specifics in a few moments. After that are the framing pages for the sessions. So if you are looking at the agenda and you're curious about what is going to be said in any of those particular sessions, you are welcome to read the framing pages, which are short, and they are jam-packed with useful information. And they have a description of what's going to be on the panel and also who's going to be presenting. And there's also some resources as well, if there were any resources that we wanted to make sure that you had from the session. If you turn to the very back of the binder, you will see a full list of people who are attending the meeting, so that when you meet someone next Monday when you get home and you realize you forgot to get their business card or you lost it, you can get in contact with everyone who was attending. And there's also a guest list for all of the guests who are in attendance with us this week. And finally, a description of all of our guest cities, so that you can read a little bit about what they're doing and what they're up to. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Olivia to talk about NNIP Camp now.
I just wanted to step in 1 second on one of the tours is going to have a walking portion. So I think you're walking about 1.5 miles, and there is a 40-person limit on that tour. So just
it's the East Beltline tour.
The East Beltline tour, number 3 in your packet under the description. So just an FYI in case you're interested in that tour.
Bernita? Okay, great. Hi, y'all. My name is Olivia Arena. I work at the Urban Institute, and I'm going to lead y'all through NNIP Camp. If you have any questions, definitely ask. We also have printouts about some of the camp not rules, but guidelines, because camp is fun and an unconference session. So really, it's an informal gathering of collaborators where all of you will set the agenda. You've probably seen several emails from me already asking you to set the agenda, but this is where it really happens. The magic happens on site. So we already have printed, if you already submitted an idea, said you were interested in learning more, discussing, we've printed those out and put them on the camp wall, which is to my right, probably your left when you walk outside. It's bright pink sticky notes all over it. But essentially an unconference is focused more on the discussion, on topics that maybe come up while you're listening to sessions, while you're meeting different participants, while you're recognizing that while everyone's in the room, you have an opportunity to talk about the things you've been wondering about the rest of the year. So feel free to submit an idea on the board, to vote on your favorites, to volunteer to lead if necessary. We have moderator guidelines, and I've printed camp sheets for note takers that have those moderator guidelines on them as well. So don't be intimidated. If you really want to lead a session or want to comment on something, totally volunteer. It's really collaborative. And we're all in this together. We all want to learn. So the camp sessions are going to happen on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons, but we're going to start building Thursday and Friday, sorry. Oof. Thursday and Friday afternoons, but on Wednesday and Thursday, we're gonna build the agenda. So that's already up there now. I've already seen people with their stickers, putting them on their sessions of interest. Keep doing that. You're gonna be able to look at them all day today. I know, I'm really excited about the stickers. So definitely use those. You'll be able to build all day today and up through lunch tomorrow. So really, if you have something, the sooner you put it on the board, it gives people time to check it out. I'll be posting on the app and hashtag NNIP on Twitter, reminding you to vote, talking about ideas. So definitely check the app and the schedule to see where camp's coming up. So voting. Voting is on site, and that's where you will put your sticky note or your sticker or a sticky note with a comment on the giant sticky notes and suggestions that are already up on the board. So that's where you say, I'm really interested in leading. If it needs a leader, sign me up. And that's counted as your vote. At the end of lunch tomorrow on Thursday, we're gonna tally up the sessions that have the most votes and start to build the wall that way. So if you're interested, there's no limit. Put what you're interested in so we can have a feel for the room. And yeah, it's built off what you're interested in. So that's an incentive to participate. Here are the NNIP camp guidelines to set your own agenda. For the moderators, have people introduce themselves, but also feel free to jump in. There'll be a note taker, so setting your guidelines up front. If you want to say something off the record, say, I don't want this to be included in the notes. If as a session you don't want the camp session tweeted out, talk about that up front. Since it's really informal and just a discussion, avoid planned speeches. There's no PowerPoints. Some sessions may have guides or materials for you to follow, but other than that, it's really just for you to talk about things, to come and go as you please. So if there's multiple sessions, feel free to walk in or out and have fun. It's an opportunity to be creative, to talk with people about ideas more informally, and to learn while you're here on site. So with that being said, welcome to the Atlanta meeting.
Thanks, everyone. I forgot two things. Double microphoning. I forgot two things. One is I meant to start with apologies for all the people who had room trouble last night. So if you still have room trouble, please let us know. It will help us to communicate with the hotel. And hopefully that was just a rocky start to a fabulous week. And also, if you haven't, hopefully the introductions helped you identify your buddy. But if you need help connecting with your buddy for those first-time folks, please reach out to any of our staff and we can connect you. So amazingly, we actually scheduled for the first session. So we're going to have a 15-minute break. while we get the next session ready up here. And if you have other questions, just definitely let us know. The bathrooms are through the lobby, past the staircase, sort of along the hall with the breakout rooms. Is there anything else?
Look at the camp boards.
What? Oh, this would be an excellent time to go look at the camp boards, or to suggest another idea, or to use Olivia's dots.
What?
That we're calling them dot board.
Because stickers on
Can you put up those are the next speakers?
Really? Does she know who else was bussed? We don't even have a full inventory of who. Okay. Yeah, I saw her introduce herself, so.
You're super good. It kind of like runs on its own once like everything, once it gets going. Yeah. I have to ask. Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
I know I'm taking notes.
Okay, cool.